ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ। ਹਰਿਯੰ ਕਰਿਯੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ। ਹਰਿਯੰ ਕਰਿਯੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ। ਹਰਿਯੰ ਕਰਿਯੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ। In the last Adhyaae, we did vichar of the self-realized person who has realized their Atam Sarup, that how despite living in this world, they remain detached without any desire. And only because of the Gyan, only a self-realized person can easily let go of all the desires within a second. From a desire from a strain of grass to the Brahmalok, only those who have realized their Atam Sarup, only they can reach a desireless state. And the reason behind this is because they know how temporary the world that we perceive is. They know this is a mithya world, the world that we see that is constantly changing. And they have realized their Sarup, that is Sat Chit Anand, that is the awareness, the consciousness. They are always remaining still in their Atam Sarup. And in that way, they don't get distracted by that which actually does not exist. So in next Adhyaae, Maharaj Atam Sarup. Hanji. So Maharaj Astavakra ji is going to explain that there are 4 ways of remaining still in your Atam Sarup. So just like we know that the word Atam Sarup has been referred to the pure consciousness that's present within each one of us, that's present inwardly and outwardly as well. So there will be few ways that how can we actually remain still in this actual real sarup of who we are. So Raja Maharaj Ashtavakra ji is explaining to Raja Janak, and Raja Janak here means all of us who are listening. They are explaining to all of us that how the Atam Sarup, how to remain still in that, and only after staying still in our true nature, we can become one with the Brahm, the ultimate realization, reality. And Gurbani says the same thing, that there is no difference between Atma and Paramatma, the consciousness and the supreme consciousness. It's the same tat, same essence that's present within the body and outside as whole as well. Slok, tu shuddh sarup hai, tera kise naal sang nahi. Maharaj says that you are this pure sarup. Now, the word sarup itself has been used to define something that actually does not have any form. Just like how if we have to ask that, can you describe what an apple looks like? We will say, we will describe the structure of an apple. We will describe the taste of it. We will describe the color of it. So it is the description that points towards that thing. So just like that, the Brahma Sarup has been pointed out by so many people in so many ways, so that the Abhyasi Jan, those who want to realize their Sarup, they can at least realize that within themselves and can go towards that truth as well. So Mara says that your this Atam Sarup that does not have any form is actually immaculate. It's pure. And pure means that it actually does not stay attached to anything. Tera kise naal sang nahi. You, as the awareness, are actually not attached to anything. It's because of agyanta that this world is real. You feel the world, the Maya, which is called, uses your Shakti actually. It is using your power to create this world. So, but you yourself, as this awareness, is absolutely detached from it. Tyagna ki chahunda hai. What is that you're trying to let go of? When you're already in a detached state, you cannot get attached to anything. So what is that you're really trying to seek? What is that you really want to be liberated from? Don't you already know that you, as the Atam Sarup, are liberated already? You were never attached. You thought you were attached because of agyanta. And agyanta is the lack of knowledge. So simply as that's why the wisdom has to be practiced, because it's just a change of shift of understanding that's happening. Because of the lack of understanding, we think we are this body, we are these thoughts, we are these things that we are looking at, the things that we are sensing. But the truth is, the awareness itself, that is our real Sarup, and which does not get attached to anything. ਦੇਹ ਅਭਿਮਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਲੀਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲਹਿ ਦੀ ਸਥਿਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਜਾ. So Maharaj is saying, let go of this attachment to the body. And what does that mean? The understanding that you are this body. This is the incorrect understanding that you have got, because you know very well this body is going to get destroyed. As a child, you had a different body. You notice that. And as in the youth, you have a different body. In the old age, it's you're gonna have a different body. You were never attached to it. It's just you thought you were. Your understanding was incorrect. So take this new understanding about of from Guru, and in that way remain still as the awareness, as the observer that is ever present. Salok. ਸੰਸਾਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਬੁਲਬੁਲਾ. The word sansar, as we have done vichar of previously as well, it means sansa, which means doubt, which means param, duality. So because this duality, it did not come from anywhere else but within yourself. Even the world that you see is nothing but a representation, a presentation that's happening within you in the consciousness. Just like how the ocean takes the form of the wave, and then at some point it takes the form of a bubble. Now, if you really do vichar of it, the water, it was just the same water. It changed its form. That's all that has happened. But because of the lack of understanding, the bubble thought that I'm separate to the water, I'm separate to the ocean. ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਰਹਿ. So Maharaj says, in this way, realize your Atam Sarup. Remain still in your true self and remain shant. Shant means to remain still and to be in that non-wavering state. Everything is happening because your senses are going outwardly towards the temporary world. That's why you wander around. But the truth is, you are absolutely still. So why not bring your senses first of all? That's how they explain how to do the practice of it. That first of all you have to invert your mind inward. So the mind looks within itself first of all to have the realization. because the mind is looking for something that it can hold on to. It originated from the consciousness, and it's going to get dissolved in that sattvastu, which is the consciousness itself. Now, to understand a little bit more, how did this world, how is this world appearing in the consciousness? Because when we go to sleep, and let's say when you have a dream, does the person next to you actually know what you're dreaming about? They have no clue about it. Yet to you, this dream that you're having in your sleep appears so real because we think this dream that's happening is actually the truth. But we, as the awareness, we when we don't know who we are, we think the dream is the reality. Same way, when we wake up, we realize that our the body was still present, lying on the bed. So where did this dream happen? Now, if we do vichar of it, the dream was actually just happening in the mind at the level of space, because the body was very much there. So, however, in the dream, the whole concept sometimes changes. We move to a different location, we experience so many things, but that experience is still happening in the consciousness. In the same way, Mahapurukhs say that this world, the world you are perceiving during the state while you're awake, is like a long dream. Only when you realize who you are as the awareness, you will be able to see it how it is just a dream. It's just passing by in front of you. The moment you start saying this is, or start believing that this is the truth, and start understanding this mithya world, the world that is constantly changing as to be the ultimate truth, we start to forget our real nature, our true self. So Maharaj says, in that way, understand in your within yourself, practice in a way, first of all, this sattvastu, this truth that is never changing. And when you realize this truth, remain still in that, even when you are engaging with the world. Slok. ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਵੀ ਵਾਸਤਵਿਕ ਨਾ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਰੱਸੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿਸਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੱਪ ਵਾਂਗ ਤੁਝ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. So again, Maharaj is explaining through that analogy of rope. Now that as we all have studied this analogy, that a rope is there in the room, and let's say it's dark in the room and you step on the rope and you get scared thinking it's a snake. The moment we turn the light on and we realize that it was just a rope. Now, did the form of the rope actually convert into the snake? What happened there? It was just a misunderstanding, the lack of knowledge, the param, what we call the illusion. So, what happened when we turned the light on? We noticed that actually, hang on, it was just a rope. I just thought it was a snake. So, within a split second, the whole param has been destroyed. In the same way, Mara says, the sansar dista hoya vi, you can see this world happening in front of you. But when you realize yourself as the awareness, the constant awareness that is always present, that's present while the mind is in wake state, when there is activities happening in the mind, when the mind is having a dream, or when the mind is in deep sleep. Still, the awareness is always present. Maharaj says, is gyan naal hi shanti prapt kar. Maharaj says, have this with this knowledge that the world is nothing but a dream, and in reality, all that is present is the consciousness. With this wisdom, remain still within yourself. And the more we practice staying in our true self, the more the byproduct of that is shanti itself, the peace. Because if you really think about it, the whole world is trying to find peace at the end of the day. If we tell someone, here, take this career, take this job, but give me your life, give me your breath. Now the answer is nobody would be willing to give away their life for that. So we chase something that is just a dream, and in that we forget that this is just nothing but the just a dream happening. It's a long dream that's happening within our own sarup. So what it says, mithya. That's what the word mithya is, as we discussed, something that is constantly changing. And the world does not exist without the consciousness. That's why Mara said, Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi. That there is nothing apart from the consciousness. Salok, ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਪੂਰਨ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਸ ਨਿਰਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਤੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਮ੍ਰਿਤਿੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਆਤਮ ਸਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਥਿਤ ਹੋ ਜਾ. So this is a practice, I like to call it a formula, that's been given to us. That how do we really practice when we are walking on the path of spirituality or Gurmat? Mara says that see the dukh and sukh as equal. Now, within yourself, when each day, this is something we can do throughout the day after this class as well, that notice how when something is taken away from you, the mind experiences dukh. And the moment we get something according to our expectations, the mind feels happy or pleasure. So this is dukkha sukh. These two things are happening simultaneously throughout the day. When things don't go according to us, we experience which we call as dukh or resistance. The moment when things go according to us, the mind becomes still. That stillness is because of the Atam Sarup. So that's why this practice has been given to go with the flow of life. We have this choice that have been given as the human form. We have an absolute choice to pick one thing over another. We can make choices. This is the power we have been given. At the same time, the life is unfolding at a much bigger level. When life unfolds according to its own plan and the mind resists, we experience dukh. So Mara says, how about in your day-to-day life, if something goes wrong, take a pause. That's what Gurbani is about, contemplation as well. Not Maharaj doesn't promote continuous reading, continuous reciting of things without actually using your intellect. Maharaj is saying take a pause. When things go south, which they will go, take a pause and within yourself understand what are you resisting to. And when you dig deep into that, you will understand you're just resisting the flow of life that's happening. Because you think why life should unfold according to my way or certain way, right? So Maharaj is saying, how about you start seeing the dukh and sukh as same? If a dukh comes, treat it as if it's just a natural thing. The sukh comes, treat it as very naturally. And this is a practice of gratitude as well. That's why Maharaj said, um, Tera kiya meetha lage. That whatever you do, whatever this life universe is unfolding, I'm pretty much within myself absolutely okay with that. Because I know who I am. I know this unfolding of life actually cannot touch me. It's happening within my Atam Sarup. So there is nothing for me to resist. And Puran hoke. Puran means be complete. Now, where do the desires actually stem from? Only when we think we lack something, the desires are formed. We have this concept that I don't have this thing within me, so I need to get that. And that gives birth to the desire. When the more you practice yourself to be this awareness, that's why the experience is important. That's why it's so important to practice what we read, what we listen to. The more we experience that truth within ourselves of who we are, the more complete we will feel. And the desires will instantly drop, and it will give birth to an absolute bliss that has no end to it. Aas and niras which remain, let go of all the hopes that you have that things should go a certain way. Play your part, act the way you have to act in that situation, but don't expect that it should turn out to the consequence should be according to you. Because it's being unfolded in so many different ways that you can't see it yet. And see birth and death as equal as well. And how can we see that when we realize that we are not this body? What is that that's actually going to die? And Gurbani talks so deeply about it as well that the air element gets merged with the air. So the Gurbani Jen actually just divides everything, breaks down, and to explain us that what is that thing that you're scared of? But because we don't know, we don't do vichar of Gurbani, we start believing things what other people feed us. But when we spend time with the Guru, when we spend time with the truth of with those Mahapurukhs who have realized their Sarup, who knows the ultimate truth, we realize we do vichar that what is this thing that's actually dying? I'm none of that. I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. I'm not the thoughts. So what is that that's really dying? Nothing is actually being nothing is actually being born and nothing dies. We think things are being born because those are just the five elements that's playing. That's why it's called the play of life. And in this way, by doing vichar, Maharaj says, remain still in your Atam Sarup. So, Adhyaae 6. So in Adhyaae 6, Mara says about the example of, sorry, it's a bit blurry, so I'm just reading from another part. In there, Mara says that Raja Janak ji now is expressing his experience. He's saying, I have realized what my real Sarup is, who I am. And he does a comparison of it to space. Because Atma consciousness cannot be seen by the eyes. It can only be experienced. You can only be that. You can't, that's why at one level, Mahapurukh says there is no words to express this. Because the more I try to capture it with word, the more I realize you can't really capture this. So to explain, Raja Janak says, I'm this infinite space. So space, as we know, we can't see, but it is there. And same way, this awareness is there, even if we can't perceive with the eyes. And this universe is like a jar in this space. So Maharaj is explaining the concept of Jo Brahmande Soi Pinde, that everything is actually happening within yourself. The universe is unfolding within this consciousness. And I know my real Sarup now, so I don't have anything to renounce. I don't have to let go of anything. I don't have to leave my family. I don't have to leave my work. I don't have to run away to a certain place on this planet, or I don't even need to worry about what's going to happen after death because I know I'm not going to die. And by I mean the awareness, the consciousness. The body is definitely going to die. So I don't have anything to renounce, nor I have anything to accept. I'm only present in my own sarup, and everything is just passing by in front of me. Salok, मैं महान समुंदर वांग हाँ. So it is important to understand that when Raja Janak ji is using the word main. He's referring to his Shuddha Atam Sarup as the pure consciousness. So Mara says, I am this, like this ocean. ਇਹ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਤਰੰਗ ਸਮਾਨ ਹੈ. And this world is like that wave that just flows in the ocean, that appears in the ocean. But does it really have any effect on the ocean? Does it really cause anything, any change in the ocean? It's just a wave that comes and then settles down, and then another wave comes up. Same way Mara says that this consciousness has formed so many Brahmand, so many universes. Not only this planet, there are so many options out there, possibilities out there. So the more you start still thinking that there is another world out there that I need to experience it, the more you're still haven't reached a desired full, complete, contentful state, because you're still having a desire to experience something else, something extraordinary. That's why Mara says, in this way, I'm not going to, I can't even let go of anything. I don't have to go anywhere, nor I have to consume anything. It's just passing through in front of me. And this is the wisdom. ਸਲੋਕ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਪੀ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਸਿੱਪੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਾਂਦੀ ਵਾਂਗ ਇੱਕ ਕਲਪਨਾ ਹੈ. So I am like this oyster, and in this oyster, there is an illusion that there is silver coin in it. Now it is an imagination. So it's again, it's been described in through the example of oyster. When we look at an oyster, due to reflection of water, we think there is some kind of silver coin in it. But when we go closer to it, we realize actually there was just no silver coin. It was just mere reflection. Same way, Mara says, I am like that oyster, and in that oyster, this world is like that silver coin because of Param. It just appears in me. That's why I have nothing to let go of, nor I have any desire to capture or attach myself to anything anymore. So Maharaj says this is the true wisdom. Salok. ਨਿਸ਼ਚੇ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਣੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ, ਇਹ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਾ ਤਿਆਗ ਨਾ ਗ੍ਰਹਿਣ ਨਾ ਲੈ. So again here Raja Janak ji is doing this dridta, this reassurance, that's why we read so many granths, we listen to katha to reassure the mind, because from so many different births, the impression has been left on the mind. In these impressions in Punjabi, we call it man di mal. So what is this man di mal? It is the impressions that has been left on the mind. The labels from so long, we thought that we are this body, we are the female, we are the male. All these different labels has been constantly being put on us due to agyanta. So even Raja Janak is doing this reassurance that I'm very much firm now that me as the Atam Sarup, I'm present in everyone, and everyone is present in me. And this is the real wisdom. That's why I have nothing to detach from, nor I have anything to absorb or to capture. And when we do abhyas of it, it is important to break it down and do it in that way so that the homme, the ahankar of even the realization doesn't come. Because when you say that I have realized and the other person hasn't, that is agyanta as well, because there is still two. But the truth is, the awareness when you realize within yourself as the aware sarup, pure consciousness, That same is present everywhere. All the in the previous lok, in the previous class as well, we did vichar that the body is a jad vastu. It actually doesn't move on its own without the power of the consciousness. Same way how the electricity passes through different, um, the fan, light, all these appliances, but it's the power of the electricity that's keeping it alive. In the same way, the body is able to move because of the power generated from consciousness. Otherwise, how come you can't move the body when you're in deep sleep? You're there, but you have absolute no idea about where the world is. Somehow the world just fades away, just disappears. Even you don't have the knowledge about your own self. So in that way, Maharaj says that I'm doing this reassurance to myself that I'm present in everyone and everyone is present in me. That's why there is no point of love, hate, dislike, friend, enemy. There is absolute no contraindication in there. You can't contradict this thing. And this is the real wisdom. That's why Brahmgyani don't see a difference between Manmukh, Gurmukh, Gyani, Agyani, because all they are experiencing is their own sarup in everywhere. So, Maharaj Kirpa, we will take a pause here and do vichar if there is any. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.